Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God, and today we're gonna talk about Genos, and we're gonna talk about Dr. Bofoy or Metal Knight, and we're gonna talk about Drive Knight and a bunch of theories that's happening here because the latest chapter of the One Punch Man webcomic, which I think is the superior version of the story. I love the manga. I absolutely love the manga, but I think there's some nuances and charms and things that it lacks, and the characters, the story changes, and maybe it's on purpose. I think it's actually going to end up being that God alternates the two universes, and these are God's two attempts to get rid of Saitama. And they're happening simultaneously or something like that. I'm gonna do a theory on that another day. Again, I think I did a video on that before, but I'm gonna do another one eventually. But Genos here in this chapter, spoilers alert if you don't read the webcomic, goes berserk. And we know that he's been going berserk for the past, I don't know how long it's been, but nearly a year, where he's been basically chasing after Dr. Bofoy, which is Metal Knight, and because he found the person that saved him, his father figure, Dr. Kuseno, he found him basically dead. And he just, and I think maybe it was on purpose, because I think Drive Knight, I think, might have set it up, because he's the one that kind of tells him in the manga about, Dr. Bofoy and Metal Knight to kind of be careful. I can't remember if he tells him or not in the webcomic, because it's been such a long time since I've reread it. But in the manga he does, and I think both stories are intertwined, and I think you can get information from either one to kind of back up your theories for the other one. But basically, Genos, once he sees Dr. Kuseno's dead, he just flies, he goes to a new level, and I think it was within him. He's we're talking about this AI that was stolen from Metal Knight or Dr. Bofoy, and somebody's trying to imitate it and do similar things. And we obviously know that Drive Knight has a similar move set to Metal Knight, whose pieces are made of chess pieces, queen, rook, all of that stuff. And I think the same thing is with Drive Knight, except he uses the Japanese version of, it's not necessarily chess, but I think it's like Sujo or something, like a different game. It's not Sujo, it's a different thing, but it's he's using those kind of game pieces to be his transformations. So instead of having, like Metal Knight, different robots do different thing, Drive Knight is the same robot that transforms to different types of creatures, which is very, very interesting. So obviously Genos here is just, it's such an emotional chapter, because Child Emperor is talking to Dr. Bofoy, and they're having a great conversation. It's such a phenomenal, sensational writing. It's just, one is just literally a genius when it comes to these emotional moments. But basically they're talking, and Child Emperor is like, why are you doing this? Why are you taking over everybody and doing all these things? And and Dr. Bofoy doesn't care to even tell him. He's like, listen, you wouldn't understand. What I'm saying? I'm a genius. I do what I want. But he gives him a chance. Look, if you do this, I'll answer you. So and basically what he has to do is defeat the Metal Knight series, and he tries to defeat the Metal Knight series with his Brave Giant, because this is I think the first appearance of Brave Giant in the webcomic. And he pulls up with Brave Giant from space, and it's ginormous. It's freaking the size of a mountain, bigger even. And Metal Knight is basically, slowly beating it up with his chess pieces of metal robots, and he's defeating it. And then Genos has been going from one facility to facility, and and the facilities are Dr. Bofoy's facilities, to see if Dr. Bofoy is there, so that he can kill him, because he had a conversation with Saitama beforehand, before he went on his rampage. Well, he was like, what should I, he was broken, to be honest. And once he had that conversation, I think he just decided, I'm going to kill myself to kill this guy, because he killed the only person that matters to me. And I think Saitama here, in the webcomic, Saitama isn't the most emotionally aware, emotionally intelligent, emotionally there person. So sometimes his answers aren't great, and he's a bit more of a douchebag than his manga counterpart. So he doesn't really handle it properly and tell Genos, the right things. And maybe that will change in the manga, and maybe that's on purpose. And again, I can't wait to see what happens with both of them. I think the duality of it, the fact that one still makes the webcomics, means that there's something that he still wants to tell in his way. And maybe he also wants to say the same story differently with Murata. But yeah, so Genos is just on a warpath. He destroys so many different facilities and then pulls up to Dr. Bofoy before he just has his conversation with with Child Emperor, who had already given up and realized that he can't win. Just as that happens, they both stop watching the screen and they're talking to each other. And he's basically talking to Child Emperor like the child that he is, and just letting him know, like, you're still a kid. You don't understand. It's like, I don't care that people think I'm evil, because the right thing to do, is not to waste my energy trying to prove my innocence to these fools. It's to find out what's actually happening and who's doing this, and to stop them. That's my only intention and goals. So I don't really care for all this other nonsense. I don't care if everybody hates me. As long as I save the world and I protect the world and I keep the world from coming to ruin, I've done my job. So everything else is irrelevant to me. I just don't care. And if me finding him proves my innocence, amazing. If not, people can think what they want. And it's just crazy, because you find out, oh wait, he's the good guy. Somebody stole his AI, somebody stole a bunch of his stuff, and he's been helping the Hero Association. And Child Emperor was like, why are you helping them, like, in the first place? Like, if they believe you to be the bad guy. He's like, because I think it's the right thing to do. There's a lot of good that can be done. It's not perfectly run right now, but there's a lot of good that it can be done with the Hero Association. And so I'm gonna keep helping them, because that's what I do. And then obviously it makes sense if you think about it. The Drive Knight, he's a Hero Association hero, and I think he probably helped start the Neo Heroes as well, and therefore he's able to both control the security at the Hero Association and the security at the Neo Heroes. And I think he's using all this data to create something far superior. Some people think that the AI is actually Genos, and that all this information is eventually going to go to Genos, because it's almost interesting that Dr. Coseno somehow doesn't have any other pieces of metal, doesn't have any other creations apart from Genos, which is an intriguing thing that a lot of people are thinking about. But I just think there's so many options here. There's just so many potential options, and all of them make great sense. So even if we come out of this surprised, I think we won't come out of this disappointed, because I really can't see a disappointing ending to this Genos saga. We know it's either Drive Knight, Dr. Coseno, because it's going to be a character that we've known and we've been aware of. So I'm just really, really excited to see what happens here. And the fact that Dr. Bofoy, all this time, he was a red herring, and a lot of people thought he was evil. There's been so many theories that he's evil. And to see that he was just a red herring and that he was actually the good guy all this time, it's really intriguing. And then, boom, Genos arrives, explodes through the facility, hands straight to the heart of Dr. Bofoy. And Child Emperor's like, no! And the chapter ends just as Genos says, I will eliminate you right now. And I think it's just the best chapter, man. We get so much information, so much lore, so many things happening. Genos' state of mind. We see Child Emperor playing such a pivotal role here. And he was looking for Dr. Bofoy himself, and he knew where he was, and he found him. And it's fantastic. He got defeated by him twice, with his Brave Giant and with himself. And when Dr. Bofoy called him a genius, he was like, he was like, don't treat me like a child. Like, I've worked so hard to get this far. But Dr. Bofoy just sees him as this ultra talented, gifted kid that was just handed all this talent. And so he doesn't have to, he doesn't understand the bureaucracies and the things around the world and the adulting life and all those things. And Genos, I almost cried this chapter, seeing him in such a state, and maybe this is it. There's no turning back for him. Maybe to activate the AI, so that it takes over Genos's real body and mind, is by him killing a person, because he's never killed a non bad guy before. He's only ever killed monsters. So I'm just super excited to see what happens. Anyways, been your boy Supreme Uchiha God. This for me is the best One Punch Man chapter out of both the manga and the webcomic. I just think it was perfection. You know what I'm saying? It's been your boy Supreme Uchiha God. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.